So Sonic Twitter just collectively orgasmed in perfect harmony because Shadow is sexy. Yes, it has been that long since I started recording and editing this video, and I basically changed it solely because the entire time I've done nothing but play one, Escurve Ritual, because, let's be honest, that shit is the bollocks, and two, I've been bumming Sonic Dick Riders.
I am not coming in behind you again, old man.
I thought this game was shit. Turns out, nah. This thing's the bollocks. I've only played the first one, though, because it's the only one I could be asked to play. The entirety of Riders honestly just has pure sex appeal. Or style, if you're a pussy. Look, I was used to writing essays in BTEC business, so I gotta stretch these shits out with as many words as possible to the point I don't even know what the fuck I'm on about. His glasses don't even fit over his eyes. To be honest, Riders for me, though, I've always looked at it and thought, well, this shit looks proper gay. Don't just hear me out, I can explain. Because I'm also the guy that thinks Generations is overrated as fuck. Sonic Riders was a spin-off racing game that was developed by Sonic Team, which kind of surprising to me. I say that because a racing game seems like the kind of shit that Dimps would do, seeing as it was a GameCube and PS2 game, and it was 2006, so realistically, if this shit didn't exist, 06 would have had more people to make it, so genuine question, do we think that would have been for the better or for the worse? Because Riders is the fucking bollocks, I'm glad it exists. For one, a Sonic racing game with vehicles is always going to be retarded. I mean, how many times have you heard that stupid meme? Why does Sonic ride a hoverboard when running is just as fast? After playing through the story though, I'll finally give that shit a pass, and instead move on to the Sega All-Stars games. Why the fuck are you in a car, you bellend? I give it a pass because at least with the hoverboard, Sonic can fly.
Even without wings, I can still fly!
Yeah, and you can also still get cancer in your ass. I love how this game is different, but it's different in a good way. This game is nothing like Mario Kart, and I think it could easily shit on it. I just think it's fucking ugly though, but ugly in a way that no other old Sonic game is. The racing is fun and also a mess. Honestly, it's like the Frontiers Titan fights. It's all over the place, but it's fucking sick. When a race starts, instead of holding the accelerator after the 2 or something like that, you got a time when you choose to run past the start gate. If your run up is badly timed, you'll start further behind, or you'll get shocked if you go too early. But if you get it perfect, you get a nice head start, and that's just satisfying in a way that getting the boost at the start of a Mario Kart race would be. Sorry, I don't want to make too many comparisons to Mario Kart, but I feel like I have to, because this game shows how Sonic should do racing forever. I've always thought like a cool idea for a Sonic racing game would just be using the Generations boost formula and having all characters just race without any vehicles, but Riders already kind of is that. But don't worry lads, it ain't boost to win. You have to actually maintain your speed. That very idea is what makes a true Sonic fan unleash their children onto their stomachs. There's also no items in this game, so no Conti bullshit! There are item capsules, but they don't really give you items. They give you rings or a speed boost or air for your board, which I'll get into later. But without items, the thing that separates the winners from the losers is just pure fucking skill. Or at least so long as you ain't behind someone, because then you'll get bodied by fucking air. One of the cool ideas I like is the fuel system. You need air to be able to keep your board going, which once again, it just makes this game more unique than any other kart racer. Collecting rings increases how much air you have, but this always fucks me up, because if one person in front is hogging all the rings, your poor ass is left in the dust. You can go up to level 3, and leveling up also upgrades your boost. Everyone has different boost animations, like Sonic will spin dash, Jet has a peacock's ass coming out of him, Shadow is just summoning dead spirits or some shit. The jump trick system is where this shit is at though. Every race has some big ramps where you've got to charge a jump and do a shit ton of tricks and stick the landing, which refills your board's air the most. The first Riders is the only one to get this right, and to be honest, I kind of wrote the other two games off, except for the fact that the music in the other two games is just way better. You have to do tricks by moving the left stick around, but also make sure you stick the landing, otherwise you're ranked as C for shit cunt. There's not enough tracks though, and to be honest, the tracks have automated segments which can't tell if I like or not. They go so quickly, but they're a chance to refill some air in your board as well. I also wish I had people to play with. I know there are mods that allow for online play, but to be honest, I just don't know how to sort that shit out. I mean, the CPU in some races are just a bit too retarded, but in other races, they're just a whole other level of sweaty dickhead. One thing that fucks me off so much though is the drafting system, because there is no drafting. Instead, you can ride on the jet stream from someone else's board and use that shit as a half pipe. I don't like this because you have no control while the game is playing itself. It is useful to catch up, which is the point. I'm just not a fan of it. It's a cool idea, it just needed better execution, especially since if you're not riding that shit, it's like the person in front just has a massive cock dangling out the back of their board, ragging you everywhere. The amount of times I've been knocked off a track because this shit is just just blocking me from where I'm trying to be. It's just one of them minor inconveniences that makes me want to punch a pregnant woman. The story is not boring, let's leave it at that. If I can say one thing though, the terrible voice acting in this game just proves to me Jason is the best Sonic. No matter how bad his line reads are, the voice coming out of Sonic's mouth, it just fits perfectly. And I really like the way a lot of these cutscenes are animated. I like when Sonic's eyes are tiny and he's got that stupid YouTube thumbnail face that looks like he's taking dick up the arse without consent. I also just like how the Babylon Rogues have their level of shit cunt set to 1,000,000. But they're not the enemies, really. Sonic and Jet have a cool rivalry because Jet's the only one who cares specifically about being the fastest. And the thing is, he's actually slower than Sonic. Nothing to do with power or about wanting to use the Chaos Emeralds for power or just some shit. He just wants to win some races. I like Jet and would want to see him outside the Riders series, at least more than fucking Zavok. But not putting him in Team Sonic Racing has protected his character from being a wet shit stain, I'll give him that. I just hate his fucking voice in the first game though.
Enough of this friendly banter, Sonic. You better make sure you're ready when we meet face to face once again.
There's Down syndrome and then there's Jet syndrome. In Zero Gravity, he comes back and 100% has lost his virginity at that point, so fair play. He's genuinely got some cool moments as well. The story is bad in a way that is still good. Like, Lost World and Forces are just not redeemable, but Riders is worth existing, even if it is just fucking retarded. Like, there's no concern for Amy's safety at all. Sonic just casually is wearing sunglasses and giant fuck-off clown boots, even before knowing what extreme gears are. And the fact that the 7 Chaos Emeralds are all here, and Sonic just doesn't turn super to whoop Jet's ass. Fair play, he's got some honor, but look at this little wanker, acting like he won. Makes it so much more satisfying when you see his dumbass just fucking fail to cross the finish line. Jet really is just the chick Hicks of the Sonic series. He's just a cunt, but he's a lovable cunt in the first 2 Riders. And I guess Storm and Wave are characters, I don't know. I think Wave is a dry-ass fanny flap, I don't care about her. And Storm makes Big the Cat just look skinny. Now, it's honestly a shame Riders has been left in the dust, but it also kind of makes sense. I'd say only 1 out of the 3 games is good. Free Riders kind of gets a pass for being shit though, because it was just bound to the Xbox Connect. And then you got Zero Gravity, which just isn't as fun, to put it as that. But the story in that game is so much better. I'm glad Zero Gravity exists solely because it gave us the remix of Catch Me If You Can. The instrumental to the main theme is just orgasmic, and the final cutscene is one of the best moments in Sonic I have ever seen. And talking about the CG cutscenes, they're all really high quality but ugly as shit. Mainly talking about the very first one of the first game, like, it's sick as fuck. But the first time Sonic actually says something, it just looks awful. I also just can't get over Tails' mouth. There's something so weird about it, but I don't know what it is. And I think there's also just something weird about actually hearing these characters talk so much in CG cutscenes, because usually in CG cutscenes where action is happening, they barely speak. I don't know, I feel like nowadays it's rare to see it, so I just miss it. But all in all, Riders is the most deserving of a remake. I'd love to live in a world where a Riders remake with fully online matches can be a thing, and you can customize the shit out of your boards and stuff like that. Sega, you want to not be retarded? Let's be honest, right? You usually are, but ever since Frontiers, you've been fucking up a lot less, so I'll give you that. But they're still fucking up because the Knuckles show exists. But please, just bring back Riders. Let the new generation of fans find out what it is. It's just sad that Riders has been left in the dust because Sega fucked up. And yet there have been so many fan mods, fan remakes and shit like that. It'd just be nice if like an official Riders 4 came out or something where online matches can be a thing. Put it on all consoles so that everyone can fucking enjoy it, by the way. That's the only problem with mods. I can enjoy it, but not everyone can. So it just kind of makes me feel guilty when I just say how much better they are than normal shit. I want everyone to be able to enjoy the same shit that I can. So either just let mods happen on consoles or make a Riders 4 that will be the fucking bollocks. But I've said what I wanted. All that's left now is leave a like, subscribe. I hate my life, and cheers, lads! And until the next time, you lot have a good one.